Patrons, welcome to another reading of the month. We're going to take a look at January 2026. Happy New Year's Eve to all of you. I have really been trying to get a few days where I don't do anything, and it's just not happening, of course. And whenever I take, quote, time off, it just means I'm taking time off from doing services. So I'm actually trying to catch up with 1,000 other things. So I'm just constantly working, but it's okay for now, I guess. I want to talk about an attack that happened on me on Christmas Eve and then something else that happened on Christmas Day. So I didn't really have much of a Christmas. And I'm going to talk about that on the truth meter, I think. But anyway, I'm waiting on this there we go, this Zoom screen to go away. So we're going to do this a little bit different and just read, and then I'll tell you what I've got. It's kind of hard to come up with questions for a month away, and we've asked on so many things, but I guess we can just keep asking. So I'm going to shuffle the cards and lace them out here. Let's see what we've got for maybe picking the general vibe out there for the world. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, for January, which starts tomorrow, we've got Three of Wands. I do feel like we're moving into a hopeful future, which is different. I don't know if any of you felt the depression. They were strong this year, the depression. Let me move this out of the way so I'm not plunking in your ear. Apologies. Whatever I want to call it, mind program being sent to all of us around Christmas. Holy cow, it just hit out of nowhere, but I'll get to that later. And that's not the attack, but it was part of it. So Three of Wands, Nine of Swords, Knight of Swords reversed, Hangman. Interesting. So we have Three of Swords. People are looking forward towards the future, a little bit more positive despite what's going on because they are seeing some changes. They're hoping for things to get better. It does seem like for some that there's progress being made in the spiritual battle. I think there is. There's been a lot of stuff that was already supposed to happen that has been canceled because even though we want to look at, and we'll probably look at that too in this, of what happens to us if we die or what's happening getting out of here while we're still alive, but also if we die and all those things, it's like, a second, sorry. Even if we just look at worldly stuff, that's still happening. I mean, I can talk about, okay, I had an attack the other day. Well, just because I'm talking about something 3D world doesn't mean it didn't happen and didn't have an effect on me. If we talk about politics, doesn't mean there's not stuff happening, whether it's made up stories or not. We got to look at it. So I do, especially if my intuition is pushing me that direction. But we have Nine of Swords here. A lot of people getting ill or afraid of a coming illness or both. Not sleeping well. This is literally like nightmares. A lot of people that have not faced their issues, they're coming up to haunt them or their fears. Not facing the truth. It's eventually you can't hide forever. King of Swords, people don't want to move forward. They don't know what's coming, so they're nervous about moving forward. And this Knight being reversed, it means not taking forward action. And with him reversed, he's actually galloping straight towards the Hangman, which is the limbo. And what has prophesied will happen. But because we're looking at this card in terms of the people out there, this is traditionally the sacrifice card, but I feel like this is this is the people this is more people becoming aware that we are nailed to the cross, to the, what do I want to call it? The matrix, the tesseract. We're fastened to it, which means you're just sitting there in limbo. So we're actually in limbo, which is kind of interesting because I wanted to read on whether we are actually in purgatory, and I feel like we are. And they've projected that outward, like, oh no, that happens after your death. So, well, that doesn't make any sense because purgatory is supposed to be where you get tested. So you didn't live a very good life, but you weren't terrible. So we're going to send you to purgatory where you need to make up for it and try to get yourself into heaven. Otherwise, you're going to go to hell. Well, isn't that what this place is? God's testing us to see what we'll do. He's watching. And so we're already in it. We're already in the limbo, but people becoming aware of that, seeing more clearly what we're in, even mainstream people. And so I'm going to, let's see, if we turn this Knight of Swords right side up now, he's galloping towards the Nine of Wands, breaking through, bringing his sword of truth towards the Nine of Wands person and waking them up, waking them out of that sleep, out of that nightmare, out of the darkness into the light. And he's actually galloping towards the Three of Wands. He's actually looking at that card. So galloping through the darkness, through the fears, and we arrive at our ships coming in, the Three of Wands of opportunity, things being better than we thought they were going to be. That's what I've been seeing. So, okay, so that's the vibe out there. So people are looking away from things instead of at the truth until it's forced in front of them. Okay, so I want to look at the health thing simply because, and here's where a lot of you will drop off. I got something went through my feed. It was a round table, and Wano Savin happened to be in it, and I felt like I needed to watch it. My intuition told me to watch it, so I did. And he said he got asked a question about med beds, and he said that term medbed is not good because it's a DARPA creation. And so they didn't start out good, but there's been new innovations coming and some things for the future that will be released in the future, but they're not quite finished yet, but they're getting better and better. And then a lot of it can be released after this whole mess with who's controlling the world and everything is cleared. That fit with what I saw. I don't know what that was. Was that last month's read, or when did I read on that? But that fit exactly with what I saw, that not necessarily the med beds, but there would be other people coming out with miraculous technology or things to help us. And he seemed to think that there these so-called med beds, which is not a good term, so I don't know if I would get anything called a med bed, according to him, that they would involve multiple things, such as sound frequency, like right frequency, light, and a bunch of other things all combined together into one. So we'll see. Let's just draw some cards on this thing that we saw people afraid of. Is this horrible virus or new virus? I'm seeing all these headlines like, oh, I'm swallowing and it feels like I'm swallowing knives and blah blah. Something worse than COVID coming for January. Okay. I'm still seeing it get stopped. I'm saying yes, they have been trying to release something. They probably did. but I just keep seeing it get stopped. And it's not the first thing they've tried to unleash since COVID. So, yeah, what was all the ones they came up with in the interim, like monkeypox? I don't remember, but they all turned into a dud. I saw a dud. All right. They're trying though. You have to give them credit for trying. Is Three Eye Atlas still a threat as we go into January? And a lot of you wanted me to read on it because everybody and their brother puts out all those theories and fear porn and whatever, and all the paid influencers and disruptors and dividers out there putting all this stuff out and blah, blah, blah. And I've got the inside track and blah, 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 blah. I go on my intuition every single time. So I don't care if somebody shows me Trump and how he's traced back to all this and that and the other. And look, he's involved in this. And look, he said this and he's pushing the digital ID and da 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 da. Okay. What does my intuition say? I don't care about any of that. And what did I say for Three Eye Atlas for the month of December? I said nothing burger. What is it? A nothing burger. Could it still be a threat for January? Let's look. Remember when the Chinese balloon flew over the United States and I said that thing is surveilling us and it has weapons on it, such as a do or something. We don't know what weapons they have. That's one of the ones we know about. So we use that for everything. And then now we saw stuff later coming out that, yeah, those things can carry weapons and such. So we just have to trust our intuition here and what we're getting because a lot of this stuff that I say and predict on, you all are getting the same thing. So we have to trust ourselves here and quit listening to all that noise. I can't stand it anymore. And people still send me a million videos. I'm not going to go watch them. Can tell in 2 seconds whether it's going to be BS. So it's nothing against you. It's just I've already been down that road for decades. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired. I've only got so much time. I'm not getting any younger here by any stretch. I don't know how long I have. We don't have time for these people, none of us. Is it still a threat for January? I don't know. I'm getting no. What I saw was if it is a threat, they would take it out. They had the technology to take it out, but it would be done probably after it goes on past to where people can't view this, although they probably were successfully blocking people from viewing it, if it's even real. I did feel like it was some kind of ship or something. The other thing they could do was just say, well, it was NASA, but we didn't want to tell anybody, blah, 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 what it really was at the time. They could just tell us a story or whatever. I just feel like it's still a nothing burger. That's still my sense. That's what the cards are saying. Let's ask about the dental tech that someone posted, and it was, so we don't even know if that's true, but I did see something coming in dentistry. And I believe it was somebody from South Korea, correct me if I'm wrong, that came up with something to regrow teeth. And I thought I saw that coming out in 2026 or becoming available, or maybe they've finished doing it. Are we going to have this in January? I feel like maybe only certain places would have access to this. Maybe in the future the world would. But it feels like no for January. It also feels like there's interest in shutting that down. I mean, I suppose I'm just looking. I suppose if we had the ability, it might threaten the dental field. I don't know. Guess we'd still need them for some things, I guess. I don't know. Okay, hopefully my rattling around here on the table with the cards is not loud. Uh, all righty, let's see what else we have. Okay, is the Civil War in Iran one of the crashes of an economy that I saw. So I believe we were looking at the economy crashing last month, and we got in some places like things. So let me see if that's a representation of what I got or if what I got meant something else. Yeah, it feels like something more than that. But I do feel like that's a deliberate attempt over there, whatever's going on, to rile up the citizens and get civil war going. I don't feel like that's happening everywhere by any means. I'm getting the same thing I got before, civil unrest, not civil war. So, if that's the case, are some countries still going to see a financial crash early, like January? Let's say we're reading on January. So that could be the case, or at least it's in the plan. Is that going to be carried out? I don't know. Still have the volleyball game going on. What else can we ask? Let's do for ourselves. Trying to think if there's something else. Feels like there is something else we would want to know world-wise. It's like I get on here and then I blank out at everything happening. Oh yeah, the arrests and all that. Do we want to ask about that? I know some of you don't care about the politics, but for me, it's entertainment. Like I don't want to watch a movie and then I don't get to see the ending. So if you take me into a theater and then, okay, well, we're leaving halfway through, that's what this feels like. I've looked into all that corrupt stuff, spent all those hours of my life that I'll never get back looking at what all these corrupt celebrities in politics and Hollywood and everywhere else, government, what they did, but I haven't seen the finish of the movie. So I want to know. I don't care if it's a movie. All right. Are we going to see anybody arrested? Okay, I just asked it too general. Are we going to see a really big A-lister name arrested January? Feels more like a little bit later, like February or something, but somebody does get arrested, but that doesn't mean anything. That could be anybody. Hmm. I do feel like that Ilhan Omar is going to get kicked out of the country, but shouldn't she be to pay that money back? Why do I feel like those Somalians? Okay, so I don't know if you were watching that, but there's a bunch of Somalians in Minnesota that were frauding the government. So us, the taxpayers, are paying them and they're multimillionaires. Ilhan Omar, one of those. She's a congresswoman that shouldn't even be in her position. She married her brother to get into the country. I mean, it's just so anyway, now they're finding it in Ohio. And I just looked and it's these Somali groups are all over the world doing this in some form or fashion, doing some kind of fraud. So there's so many layers of BS going on. It's unreal. Let's look at us. Let's look at us in general right now for January. Death card reversed. Knight of Swords reversed. Nine of Nine, oh my God, Knight of Swords reversed, Nine of Swords. I literally just picked the same two cards next to each other. Whoa. Oh my God. I'm freaking out. Oh my God. I just picked the Hangman. I picked it reversed this time, but oh my God. I'm literally using two tarot decks put together, have shuffled. You've been hearing me shuffle. I just picked three of the four cards. Holy crap, that's weird. The it would be in what, the trillions, the octillions, the chances of that. I mean, that's just whoa. All right. So let's heed the message here. We have a death card reverse. This is us and our feeling, not the world feeling, but it looks like we're matching the world here. Only it's a little bit different. So the death card, we're not seeing the ending of things. It seems like things keep looping. We keep going backward is what it feels like. This is our feeling or our state or vibe. Nothing's getting resolved. We don't feel stable. We've got the Knight of Swords reversed. We don't feel like we can go forward with plans, or we don't have a focus, a clear focus. Definitely getting derailed from the truth. We're searching after false truths, galloping full speed ahead after false truths, because he is galloping toward the Nine of Swords. That's the person sitting in the darkness. And all that fake truth that is out there is causing some of you to get sick or to worry all night or to be up at night with a million different scenarios in your head. And you don't know which one's which or which one's true, and they're all conflicting. Or so my advice would be stop watching all the junk, but it's also worry about getting ill, not moving forward. But what's interesting is the Hangman's reversed here, which means the limbo is lifted, but we're keeping ourselves in the dark with false truth. We're keeping ourselves from moving forward. But with that 9 there, that is coming to an end. And I can't get okay, sorry, I'm messing with Zoom again. So let's look at this. I want to flip the death card right side up. We're going to choose the opposite of this card. We're going to choose the right side up version. It's there, it exists. It's just coming up reversed, but we're not going to have it. We're going to put it right side up where we are now moving forward. Things are dying off like they're supposed to. Things are getting exposed. These are permanent endings that bring more stability. And then, of course, after death, you have the rebirth. So this is more stability coming through permanent changes that need to go. And sometimes this is people dying and they need to go because it was their time. So, but this represents stability coming. So we can stop moving into the past and looping. So the Knight of Swords, we're going to turn him right side up. We're clear on our truth now, not everybody else's that we've taken on. Did you ever notice when you go to bed, it's like you have all that energy of other people in your aura, including the people you watched on videos, but the people you interacted with, and you got to shower it off because it's all hanging there. But all those thoughts they put into your head. So now he's galloping away from that, and he's galloping straight towards the Grim Reaper here on his horse, and both horses, he's on the white horse, probably, what is it, Thanatos? I don't even know how to say the name. And the other one is on a gray horse. He is galloping straight for the death Grim Reaper. So these horses are on a collision course, and the truth is coming. And the truth will be the death of these belief systems, these scenarios, some of the religions, the other stuff. So their crap is coming to an end, and we just have to get refocused and intend for that to happen and clear out our own pasts. So now we have this Nine of Swords, which is totally fine upright here because it's going to lift. It's a nine, it moves into an ending cycle, and the darkness lifts and things are clear for us. And we move towards that hangman where we are not in limbo. We just feel like we are because we're getting assaulted basically with information. Too much information, most of it not truth. It's in the darkness. So really we're not in the limbo anymore, but we gotta embrace the deaths that are coming, the deaths of the old cycle, objects that you're holding on to, people, et cetera, beliefs. All right, let's keep going. So that's January. I just willed for us to get out of our rut, our mental rut. So and so said this, and this book said that. Okay, what's your intuition say? Well, the Gnostic stuff says this. Okay, what does your intuition say? You're getting yourself all caught up with all that crap. That's why I'm trying to share this. That's why I started speaking out. I started sharing what I was getting because I was hitting the nail most of the time on the head. I was like tracking it. Sure as heck, I'm not going to get out there like some of these psychics and put information out and be wrong all the time. But people don't remember and they just keep going forward and they keep listening to you. And it's like, you do realize they haven't predicted anything or they've been wrong about just about everything. And I watch some of the big channels, which I would never get on, but have these big name psychics on there. Well, he was right about this one thing. Okay, but he was wrong about 35 things. But the 36th thing he was right. So you're going to keep having them on. Okay, we need better percentage than that. We need a better percentage. All of us are hitting it, in my opinion. The only time I feel like some of you, and I'm not talking about you on Patreon, I'm talking about you on people contacting me on Facebook, Telegram, all over the place, emails. The only time I feel some of you are off is when you're spouting stuff from a book or from somewhere else. It's like that doesn't even feel right. It sounds good. It's a very entertaining story. Man, it spits a few things together, but still didn't feel right. Sorry. Or if you go deeper, it's just part of the story here, part of the movie. Um, let's look at our health. January, let's look at our health. If I pick the same cards again, I'm going to freak out. Judgment reversed, High Priestess reversed. Interesting. Justice reversed. We have three of the Triumph cards in a row. Wow. All reversed, and Knight of Wands reversed. Okay. Judgment card reversed, not hearing the information we need to hear. It's got the big old Red Cross logo there, right in the center of the card. That tells us everything. Interference from the angles. It's got the big angle up there blowing the trumpet. And or it looks like actually it looks like a not a, it looks like a clarinet, not a clarinet. What does this thing look like? Looks like a cross between a clarinet and a flute. So it almost reminds me of the Pied Piper, actually. Um, it's supposed to be a trumpet, I think, but that doesn't is not what it feels like. It feels like the Pied Piper luring us down the wrong track. It's reversed, false information reaching us, not getting the answers we need, trying to turn us into zombies. We got the dead rising from the grave here and looking in reverse at false information. they are trying to slow things down because they know that these health solutions are coming, and they're actually trying to slow those down so that we do not get access. So, of course, you know what I'm going to do with this card. We're going to flip it right side up. Sorry, but for all of us, everything works in our favor. We've got the Judgment card, sound advice. The ideas or the information that we need is reaching us so that we can rise out of the graves, out of this crypt, out of this limbo, purgatory, and realign with our true selves. Maybe through sound therapy. This whatever this is, instrument. Looks like it's blowing right on this woman's arms, the sound frequency, and she's being healed. And everybody's taking part in that. So to me, this can be when that sound frequency lifts that I said there's something that's being blasted at all of us, that when that lifts, we'll actually be able to see what is really there, not what we're perceiving. Yeah. We've got High Priestess reversed. What do we just asked about our health in general? High Priestess reversed. This is basically a card that means the unknown. There is no answer. Nobody knows. And with it reversed, somebody knows. We got the cross there in the Judgment card, the cross on her chest in the High Priestess card. I don't know why, but this JB upside down looks like the British pound. B and then a pound, even though it's not, that's just what came to me, the British pound. There's something going on with that city of London that controls all the money. There's something going on there that's affecting or preventing health or funding the poor health or the nobody getting the answers, blocking things, putting up the barriers so things don't reach us. It's something about what am I saying? About them that city of London, which is part of the big three, Washington, D.C., City of London, and Vatican, right? Something shady going on. So we'll just flip that right side up. We do not have the answer yet, but it's coming. It's something in the frequencies affecting us. It's also something in the water. So it's the water, the sound frequencies, and lack of true light. Isn't that interesting? So does that mean the sun, not having the real sun? I kind of feel like it's with that cross on the chest. It kind of reminds me of the Temperance card with the triangle there. When I see a fallen angel taking over somebody's light body, that's what I see, a black triangle. And with this cross here, it feels like marked with something to try to block healing. And something with the alteration. So these palms and pomegranates in the background of this card is Adam and Eve, male, female, because the pomegranate tree, if you read my book, Nature Talk, where I talked with the pomegranate tree, it was the tree of paradise or whatever, the original tree that they altered that tree, and the fruit of it used to make humans give multiple births, not just birth one at a time. But anyway, there's things done with our sexual organs, DNA. There's things in the water that it's just all over the place. Okay. So we also have the justice card coming though, but with this reverse, the unjust will be rewarded in January. When we ask about health, the unjust get rewarded. That's the courts, the legal systems, the societies, the groups, the dark the dark forces controlling everything, basically. Their laws are set against us healing. So we're going to flip that right side up. Nope, we're going to call the law on you and enforce it. The just will be served, justice will come. Our karmic rights, if you're going to push karma on us, it's our karmic right then to have health. But we don't accept karma because you're using it, it's your law, and you're using it on us and using it against us. So the just will be rewarded. The curtains will fall. We have justice coming. We have a right to good health. Knight of Wands reversed. Spiritual mission getting thwarted through poor health. So physical health through being misguided spiritually, because this is Wands, looking at all that stuff out there, like I said, and through mental manipulation, emotional manipulation, manipulating health you can have emotional health, mental health, physical health, financial health, spiritual health, all of the areas getting hit so that we cannot move forward with our spiritual purpose and mission. So as we flip that one right side up, suddenly we have movement moving forward towards the justice card. Justice is coming. Justice will be done. All right, so there's health. Legal things blocking all these healing technologies or the stuff that people come up with, the legal system blocking it, shutting them down, the three-letter agencies coming after them, all that, because it's not going to be a moneymaker for them. And that is flipped on its head because I just intended that. I'm not going to allow it anymore. I'm not allowing it. Permission denied. Everything works in our favor. You can't stop it. The answers for our health are coming. Let's look at our personal financial situations for January. We have Ace of Pentacles reversed, Five of Pentacles reversed, King of Wands, and that's very interesting. High Priestess reversed again. Oh my gosh. So Ace of Pentacles reversed is still good, even reversed. It's a miracle card, a gift of money, or enough money coming to get us by, but we're going to flip it right side up. We're going to claim the full miracle of financial abundance, new opportunities, new beginnings, or a sum of money coming, whatever it is you need. It doesn't have to be money, but we said financial, but something of value that you are needing comes. So we have Five of Pentacles reversed. This is poverty consciousness, not seeing the light, being in the darkness, thinking you're lacking something when it's not true, and it's a five, so you're moving out of that. With it reversed, being stuck in that cycle, and those two are moving towards that Ace of Pentacles. So we really do have better things coming for us financially, but because we're stuck in this poverty consciousness and we're not moving out of it, the situation can't change. The King of Wands sitting next to that, looking over at that Five of Pentacles card. This is the King of optimism and spiritual purpose and claiming what's yours. No, everything's working in my favor. But a lot of the spiritual warriors are turning negative, but they're listening to all the junk out there instead of to themselves. And they're turning negative and, oh, everything sucks and this is all going to go down in a thing. And we just, no. If I stop to be here, I'm going to turn it around to make it as pleasant as possible. I don't care if it's a Titanic going down. I'm going to go get somebody to plug up the freaking hole, and then let's take the Titanic out of the Arctic waters and let's get the thing back to shore somewhere. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go down into icy cold water, a watery black water death, freezing to death, and get recycled back in. Sorry, I'm not doing it. I'm going to take care of what's going on right here where I'm at, because I'm right here for a reason. I'm not here to ignore the 3D. I'm taking care of all of it. I'm bringing the spiritual purpose here. This is the core of it. So the King of Wands in his positivity is looking over there, but he's like, what's going on? We have the Five of Pentacles reversed. So let's flip that right side up. Now they're moving out of that state of poverty consciousness and poor us and victim and whatever towards the King of Wands, where they have full power as the staff of power. We are true spirits. We run this joint, not them. So now he's also looking over at that Ace of Pentacles. Now that I got them both right side up, yeah, we're moving on. The High Priestess, let's flip her right side up. Intuition guiding the way. Balance coming. Yeah. Moving into the unknown with our intuition, that will guide us because we're going to be rewarded. There's two pentacle cards, two money cards coming up for the money question. So this is everything working in our favor. Let's look at relationships, and we're going to close to wrapping it up. Hopefully I can get the truths that are done. Relationships in general for us for January, Four of Cups. Fool card reversed. What else have we got? Five of Pentacles again. Interesting. Queen of Pentacles. Very nice to wrap that up. Okay. So Four of Cups. Feeling bored, apathetic in relationships. But the Ace of Cups being handed to you, something new and inspiring, a new relationship trying to come in. But if you're focused on all the old stuff with that Death card going backwards and looping and recycling all the old memories, all the old hurts, all the old jealousies, all the old regrets, all the old blah, 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 you are going to miss what's coming. Let it all go. Fool card reversed. You do not want to be the fool. Things are moving in a good direction. There's a bunch of fools around you. Are they the people online? Are they people in your immediate vicinity? You're surrounded by fools that they don't need to lure you to the edge of the cliff. They'll just shove you off. So we're flipping that because they're turning you into a victim, bullying or monopolizing, dominating to turn you into a victim. And you don't have what it takes. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not this. You're not that. And you're not rich enough. You're not whatever. And we're buying into that because we have fools talking in our ear. We're going to flip this right side up where we are the fool, the wise spirit that knows all. And we have full information of what we're doing. We can step off the cliff because we know there's another step down there, because we have informed ourselves. We have looked where no one will look. We are paying attention now, and we are heeding the warnings. So our steps are guided and protected. Five of Pentacles is right side up, meaning we're moving out of victim stance, especially when we remove the fools. Four of Cups is saying that. The Fool card is saying that. Get rid of the fools. Fool. There's the fool that has the king's ear. He knows everything, the wise fool. And then there's the fools, the idiots. Get rid of the idiots, please. Five of Pentacles, moving out of the darkness, out of victim stage, out of thinking we lack something, poverty, we lack health, we lack this, we lack that. Towards the Queen of Pentacles, a benefactor who will help, who will provide the funds or the support, whatever support's needed to help, to offer whatever support you need. because they have an abundance. All right, so this is really good relationship, whoever this Queen of Pentacles is. It doesn't have to be an earth sign, just somebody that's there to help and support. But it could be earth signs in particular for January for some of you. And you'll know. You'll know if this is the Queen of Pentacles or the Queen of Pentacles reversed. The Queen in disguise. You're not a fool. Don't play the fool. You know. Let's pick our final cards. Oh boy. The numbers are changing tomorrow, going to the 26. See what happens. It's going to be different. Miracles. I thought I saw the miracle card on the bottom of the deck, but it wasn't. And I just picked the miracle card out of here. We had the Ace of Pentacles, the miracles card. We are bringing it, whatever that saying is. We are bringing the miracles. They come through us. We're bringing it. We just have to get ourselves right side up, our cards turned right side up. Don't play the victim. Yeah, we have stuff done to us. I got attacked. That doesn't mean I'm a victim. That means they worm their little mealy ways into my space. Gateway, miracles, gateways being made for miracles to come in. Stillness. And we have, hang on, I want to pick one more for the inner peace. All right, so with that together, that makes sense. Four of Cups with miracles. The Ace of Cups is being handed to you. It's literally a miracle. It's the hand of God coming out of the cloud, handing you the cup, which is your spirit. Your spirit will bring the miracle, but you've got to pay attention. You've got to listen to your intuition. You've got to listen to your soul. It's the only way to bring the miracles in. Otherwise, you're just spinning your wheels. You're listening to all the nonsense out there and the BSers that want relevance or whatever the reason is that they're putting stuff out. I don't know. And they're never right. You listen to you. The Fool card, wisdom, where we had that reversed wisdom to find the gateway. You're a unicorn here. This card has a unicorn in it. You're a unicorn. Five of Pentacles with stillness. So in the Five of Pentacles, it's snowing. Things freeze up, they're cold. And in this stillness card, we have like frost around a window pane with a swan in frozen water. It's like things coming to a standstill like in winter. But it's going to thaw. It's supposed to be still right now. The changes are happening beneath the surface. So have faith. Fool card, have faith. Inner peace is on the other side of that with the Queen of Pentacles, bringing inner peace, knowing somebody's got our back, knowing we're going to have supportive people that help us. And inner peace comes from stillness as well, because it puts you in the now. It doesn't put you in the future or the past, it puts you in the now. All right, that's all we got. I'm sending lots of love. And we're going to move into January with confidence. We are in charge and everything works in our favor. I am hearing more and more feedback of people using that, and it's turning situations around miraculously in the moment. It does that for me as well. It's just that we get mind wiped, so we don't remember to say it and to not demand it, to declare it. It is. There's no other discussion. It is. That's it. Everything's working in our favor.